'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la.
After vacationing across America and throughout Europe,
Take it, Russ.
this holiday season, the Griswolds are going to play it safe.
Clark, we're stuck under a truck.
Oops. They're staying at home.
I give you the Griswold family Christmas tree.
Hope you're not getting sap all over your sweater, Clark.
All Clark wants is a quiet, old-fashioned Christmas.
Sorry. Got a little knot here. You can work on that.
What he's going to get is the gift that keeps on living.
Merry Christmas.
His family.
We didn't come to impose.
Oh, hell, there's plenty of room.
Do you sleep with your brother? Do you know how sick and twisted that is, Mom?
Well, I'm sleeping with your father.
Have you got a kiss for me?
You better take a rain check on that, Art. He's got lip fungus they ain't identified yet.
But no holiday could ever be more deeply touching.
I think this movie just sums up the pains of Christmas just very well. You know, you have family, you have the lights, and not always they're going to work, and then family. But anyway, so this movie, I was again, much like Die Hard, I was very hesitant on waiting for this one because I had an idea to do this one as a series because the National Lampoon's vacation movies. But then I was like, they kind of all work like individually. Like that's actually how I grew up watching this movie, because I did grow up watching this movie, and I watched this one first, didn't know it was part of a series, and then when I finally started watching them, I saw the first movie and I went, this looks the same somewhat, and then I heard the name Griswold, and I just went, wait, why does that sound familiar? And then went back and looked at Christmas Vacation. I was like, oh, because it's the same family, even though every movie the kids are different. But, that's part of the joke. Even Chevy Chase said that's part of the joke. But with this movie, I grew up watching this, so you kind of can already tell what I think of it. This is definitely one of those movies where I laugh every time I watch it. To me, it never gets old. And because it's very kind of relatable, because, around Christmas time, it's just like especially with family, you're just like, this is going to suck. Much like The Ref, where it was bad. It was already bad enough, but then once more family got involved, it just got worse. With this, it's just family in general. You all have problems. Same thing with Krampus, but oh my God, they weren't all annoying. This one, they're not all annoying, so yay for that. But if you don't know what Christmas Vacation's about, it's the third film in I think four movies and a remake, or reboot / sequel. It's more of a sequel, but it's the third movie in a series where it is the Griswold family, and they just want to have a nice vacation. The first movie, it was go to Wally World, which is actually Six Flags. In the second one, they had a European vacation, so they went to Europe. In this one, they want to keep it safe and just have a Christmas vacation at their home. They don't want to go out. They're just like, okay, we're gonna have Christmas here. We're not gonna go out. We're just gonna have it here, like a social gathering, kind of Christmas. So that way all the family can come in and have a nice Christmas. But, if you follow the movies, the Griswolds they never get off that easy, and, havoc ensues. And, like I said, I watched this when I was a kid, and this movie's not really directly aimed for kids, like certain parts, but this was the first movie I saw out of the series, because it was I think the tamest one at the time that I started watching them. Because this was PG-13. The first movie I know was R, and I think the second one was PG-13, but it had some nudity in there. But this one, not really. They do have a little bit of sexual stuff in there. They do have language, but it's not like the first movie where they show nudity. They say all the swear words. In this, it's only like a little bit, but so I think overall, should be fine with this one. Should be fine. But me, growing up watching this movie, I didn't know what they were saying, obviously, until much later. And I was like, what's that word O? What's that word that means F? What's that word that rhymes with duck? Oh, okay. I get it. So, but yeah. So every time I watch this movie, I always get a kick out of it. I think when Eddie shows up, when I was a kid, I'm thinking, oh, that's just, another member of the family. And then when I watched the first movie, I was like, hey, he looks familiar. And I was like, oh, because it's all connected. So that's what makes this more funnier. So, which I always like. I always like when they do that. But I don't know. I really, really like this movie. To me, I think if I exclude the first movie, I think that this would be my favorite. With the first movie, that's a bit hard because, I like the first movie. Second one, it was okay. This one I like quite a bit. Vegas Vacation was okay. And then the reboot / sequel I thought was okay. So, yeah. But yeah, just, I really don't want, family to show up. And then all of a sudden I start hearing one of the presents starts meowing. Or it's leaking Jell-O. Or you look in the Jell-O and there's cat food in there. I don't want that to happen. So, great. So, I don't know. I've always liked this movie. I don't think it's, as much as I kept kissing its behind, I don't think it's amazing to me, but it is great. It definitely gets a great. I think this is my favorite out of the National Lampoon Vacation movies. I think it is. It also helps that this movie was written by John Hughes, who wrote. I think he wrote the first movie. I don't know if he wrote the second one. I think he had some part of it, and then he wrote this one. If you don't know who John Hughes is, he did. Breakfast Club. He did Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He did Home Alone. So he, another Christmas film. So yeah, I think when it comes to John Hughes writing, I think he's able to capture the way teenagers are in the 80s, especially in the 80s. Especially, I would say, with, like Breakfast Club or 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink, Ferris Bueller, or even Weird Science. I think he's able to capture the way a teenager is very well. And also, when it comes to, like, this and then, like, the other vacation movies, he captures the joy and struggle of being family. The joys and the pains of being a family and being together, and especially during a holiday. because holidays are already stressful enough, depends on what it is, and family can be stressful at times, and just combining the two, you have more on your plate and probably more stressed out. So yeah, but yeah, I've always enjoyed this movie. It's a classic to watch during Christmas, and yeah, when Clark said, we're gonna have the happiest holiday ever since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny Kaye, I never knew what it was, even when I was a kid, and then eventually I watched White Christmas, and I'm like, oh, so that's what he's talking about. Okay, all right. But also, it's great to know that squirrels are high in sodium. So, there you go.
Merry Christmas!
If Santa is smart, he'll stay well clear of this joint. It's a death trap.
Then Christmas with the Griswolds.
Everybody come out quick, look at the lights!
They want you to say grace.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
This year, let Chevy Chase light up your holidays. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That thing had 9 lives. She just spent them all.
You crack up.